When Bach Meets Narekatsi, the Armenian Viola. Text and photos by Grigoryan. Published on February 2, 2026 on EVN Reports Lifestyle magazine. Salt. A musical instrument that will change Armenia's musical landscape. This is how renowned violist, composer, and conductor Grigor Arakelyan describes the Armenian viola he co-created, an instrument he is currently the only musician in the world to fully master. Preparing for an upcoming concert, Arakelyan smiles at a question he hears often. People say, "The Armenian viola is made up," he says. "But every instrument is made up. None of them grow on trees." Co-created with renowned string instrument specialist Armenian Yarekyan, the Armenian viola sits in dialogue with the European violin family and the viola da gamba. It moves easily between Armenian traditional, spiritual, classical, and contemporary music. For Arakelyan, its sound carries something new, while maintaining an invisible thread to the most ancient and flourishing periods of Armenian art. I knew Master Armenian Yarekyan back when I was still a cellist. He would repair my instrument. Once in 1993, I saw Kemenies in his workshop, which he was making. It's a Hamshin string instrument, played while dancing. I asked him to make one of me a Kemeni in the dimensions and the number of strings I wanted. That's when my journey with the Armenian viola began. Beyond its structure and number of strings, what sets it apart from the European viola is its appearance and the sound it produces. This isn't an instrument we revived from the past. It's the instrument that might have existed had our musical tradition developed proportionally, as European music did. In that sense, I see it as a more meaningful creation. When I was still a student, I was fascinated by the old system of Armenian music, which was distorted during the Soviet period. Pop music began to be presented as a folk style, which changed a lot in people's perceptions. Many people don't realize that Mesrop Mashtats, beyond creating the Armenian alphabet, also laid the foundations of Armenian spiritual music by composing the first hymns. These did not emerge in isolation. He drew heavily from pagan ritual music. In this way, our spiritual music is not disconnected from our history. It remains deeply rooted in tradition. This captivated me and led me to study the Armenian musical system more closely. Through that process, I realized that one instrument was missing, one that could complete the system. The Armenian viola became that missing link, the foundation on which I now perform and interpret this music. Bach Meets Narekatsi. That was the title of a program we created years ago and toured almost worldwide. We performed in country after country, and the response was striking. Over time, the Armenian viola began to develop a recognizable voice of its own. My goal goes beyond simply playing this instrument or training new musicians. I want to reshape the musical environment in Armenia, to change how we think about our musical heritage. Only then will more musicians turn to the Armenian viola. I also want to bring the Armenian Middle Ages into greater focus, a period that remains underexplored in Armenia today and still requires serious work. Sadly, Master Armenian Yarekyan passed away 3 years ago. But I can say that the memory of such a great master lives on in the many string instruments he created, which are now used all over the world. The master's memory will endure in the emotional playing of the Armenian viola, in its wistful, intimate tones that breathe life into the forgotten music of the Armenian Middle Ages.